In the year of our Lord, 1491, I pronounce over this man an excommunication. May the earth not digest thee. May the earth spew thee up. Mayst thou remain incorrupt. May the earth not lose thee. May the ground reject thee. In death be thou bound eternally, even as stone or iron.
Morning, Mr. Langdon. Good luck.
Rolling. Mr. Langdon, may we have a few words about your bill?
Yes, but you'll have to be brief. I'm expected in committee.
It's clear the government doesn't support it.
The government doesn't. The people do. The country's deep in trouble, and we can do without elements who make things worse. Before you know where you are, they're threatening the very lives of their fellow countrymen for some political end or other.
It has been said that your bill represents the undercurrent of fascist sentiment in our society.
That's typical of the sort of nonsense we get. It's just another example of your people in the press saying something for the headlines. People aren't fooled, you know. My private member's bill for the maintenance of public order has the support of the majority in this country. It proposes greater powers of surveillance for the police, backed up by more realistic powers of detention, and assisted by the introduction of identity cards. It also provides for closer links between the civil and military intelligence networks, and then, of course, the reintroduction of capital punishment for any terrorist offense which might endanger life.
Doesn't dictatorship start like this?
There's nothing wrong with vengeance, if properly administered by the state. Now, if you'll forgive me. Paracelsus knew the mysteries of blood. He knew why the priests of Baal made incisions with knives in their flesh, and then brought down fire from heaven. He knew why Orientals poured out their blood before a woman to inspire her with physical love. He knew how spilt blood cries for vengeance or mercy and fills the air with angels or demons. Blood is the instrument of dreams and multiplies images in the brain during sleep. Images. Sleep.
Oh, hell, the bread.
Well, you're doing it for the attention it'll get you. Maybe even for the power. That's what you think, isn't it? Otherwise, for you, it's over, and you've got the sense to realize it.
I'm a politician. I care about my country.
You're a politician. You care about yourself, your career. Edward, you've been left on the back benches in the last 2 administrations. This public order bill, does it honestly matter to you?
It does matter to me because it matters to them and they elect me. That's democracy. But if you mean, do I care with deep passion? No, of course I don't. I've been in the game far too long for that. I suppose I stopped caring, really, when they killed Sarah. After that, some part of me feels nothing. Seems such a long, long time ago. I look upon it almost like a bizarre story. Distant. Not my own wife, but something I read.
Look, Edward, I'm sorry, I really...
That night, she was sleeping on her own. A quarrel. They came upon her as she slept, cut her throat, drank her blood. That was the ritual. A secret society dedicated to the devil. This was their sacrifice.
Edward, I really...
Not interested.
Aren't you interested, Philip? Aren't you fascinated? Doesn't this story of blood amuse you?
Look, Edward, it's not that I'm squeamish, but to hear a man talking about his wife, about the death of the woman he loved in this way, this measured, matter-of-fact way, is somehow...
Disgusting? Distasteful?
No.
Of course, it was a terrible thing. The whole episode had a strange fascination for me. Why would they want to drink her blood? What sort of power did it give them? I had to find out. Had to. Philip, tell me what you think. The bill, what chance has it got? The city usually has its finger on the pulse of politics.
Well, we're more concerned with the rate of tax on capital than capital punishment. But I'll tell you the truth. The House of Commons won't buy it. Well, that's my opinion. To them it sounds like a police state. I mean, they're not convinced, like you and I, that it is essential.
There's time before the vote for the mood to change. Yes, there's time to change all that.
Oh, but only some sort of outrage. And you can't plan that.
Waiting ages. You don't need to meet me.
It's on my way.
You look terrible.
What?
You all right? Saw those pills, wouldn't be surprised. Miss Bennett says they make you mindless.
That's enough advice from you, thank you, young lady.
I won't take them ever. You won't catch me being a drug addict.
Angie!
That the servant of the Prince of Darkness might help thee by being of the devil alone, and known by no man living, neither capable of capture by any man, save by the leave of the Prince of Darkness, that he might walk once more on the earth and do thy bidding. The place where the two paths cross.
My life. My blood.
have made a mistake, Langdon. Yes, Langdon, a mistake.
Life has returned to you.
But you didn't follow the ritual. You forgot to bite off my tongue. I am free to reject your task. But if I accept, it may be for my reasons, not for yours. If I decide to proceed, I must make physical contact with a blood relative of the human being who is to die. I shall draw away the strength of the one who gave life to the child. Partly the woman will want it. Therein lies the guilt she will feel. She will feel the burden of evil. She will share it with us when the child of her body dies for your political ambition.
This death, I don't seek it for selfish reasons.
It has already begun. It started with the first thought in your mind. We shall meet at this place again, Langdon, when you will know the meaning of the violence you have released through me.
Do you mind me walking with you when you go to school?
Well, maybe it's a bit silly.
Silly?
Well, as if I was a baby.
I like to, you know.
It's all right, Mum. I don't mind. Bye, don't bother this evening. I'll see you at home.
I'll park the 25 down.
Don't scare Angie. Please don't. Don't wake her up. She's sleeping. Angie. No. No. No.
Thank God. I had this feeling you weren't going to.
I thank God for nothing, Langdon.
Where are you?
In the open, not closed in.
But
Above me the sky, not the earth.
have you done it?
Done what?
Made contact. Physical contact with a blood relative. Can we go on?
It's possible.
Why do you make it so damn difficult?
Death is difficult, Langdon. And you have made it more difficult by not following the ritual, leaving me free to speak.
Just to do it. Then I know my bill will go through. They won't be able to ignore me again.
Yes, Langdon. You're no longer required.
Well, Well, good luck. I hope...
Who's he? Hello?
I can show you all a game. A new, strange game.
Hey, I think he's a bit queer.
Yeah.
Give me the chalk, Pandora. I shall call you Pandora. You will be my Pandora, won't you? Now let me show you something you've never dreamed of. Stand back. Do not enter the circle.
Why?
It is a magic circle. If you enter, you will break. Spell.
What spell? If it's magic, why are you in it? Yeah, why are you in it? What?
I have magic Goodbye, my Pandora.
Angie.
Mr. Langdon, do you think your bill succeeded so spectacularly because of the playground bombing?
Certainly this bill will do much to help stamp out the activities of anarchist extremists. And of course it reintroduces the badly needed deterrent of capital punishment for terrorist murders.
Do you think it was a sense of outrage which led MPs to make the provisions retrospective, so that if the playground bomber is caught and convicted, he'll hang?
Well, I personally oppose that amendment. I can understand why it was carried, but I think it is dangerous to punish anybody in a way more severe than he had a right to expect when he committed the crime.
A surprisingly liberal view, Mr. Langdon.
Not at all. I've always been in favor of fair play.
Fair play for the murder of little children.
It's a difficult matter.
I'm going to take up my... If I sit here, how's my eye? Yeah, you're all right. You're okay there. We're about to start. Try to talk directly to me without looking at the camera.
Running.
Camera running. Just tell us, in your own words, how you feel about the death of your daughter, Angie.
I just can't imagine life without her. The hardest thing is to remember she isn't here anymore. To stop myself calling up to her in her room. She spent a lot of time up there, locked away. She was a very solitary child. She had a world of her own I knew nothing about. Poetry and paintings. Bright paintings she used to bring home from school. The funny thing is, sometimes I can't even remember her as she was. I just seem to have lost years. I can remember her as a baby. It's just as if she never grew up. All those years in between are missing. It's as if I can't come to terms with her growing up and being taken away like that.
My life. My blood. I bleed for you, my darling.
Sounds cynical, I know, but it was the children. You owe them a good deal. More or less made it impossible for Parliament to do anything else. So stupid playing into your hands like that. Might almost have been on your side, whoever did it.
So glad you could come down, Philip. Nice to get out of London, don't you think?
It does seem a particularly foolish tactic on their part.
It's brought the British to their senses. Perhaps it was worth it, taking the long-term view. After all, in the war, hundreds of thousands gave their lives for this country. What we've got on against these terrorist people is war. Make no mistake.
The argument has a certain logical appeal.
What do you mean by that?
You have it all now, Edward. Death has brought you success. It's hard to see how they can keep you out of the cabinet. But you are riding in the saddle of death. And you seem to me too comfortable there.
Struck an iceberg. That's official.
Hang me.
I can't. Not now.
But you wanted to kill me before.
It's not the same.
In the war, you killed.
You didn't see their faces.
They just gets a bomb and puts it anywhere. Well, it's gone far enough, isn't it? I mean, we've had all that stuff in Ireland. You kill somebody, you got to get killed back, you know?
A free associate. What? I'll call out words, and after each one, you give me the first word that comes into your head.
You mean you want me to say what I think the word means?
No, the meaning of the word is of no importance. Just the first word that comes into your head. Now, for instance, I might say to you, dandelion.
Dandelion?
Yes. Now, this might suggest to you weeds. Now, that gives me a clue to the way your mind works. All right, let's try it, shall we?
Weeds?
No, wait. I'll give you a word first, and then you give me a word in return.
That sounds fair.
Mother.
Death.
Mm-hmm. Father.
Death.
Woman.
Death.
Daughter.
Death.
Yes. try to use a little more imagination. Vary your answers.
You mean don't say the first word I think of, say something else?
Yes. No. Well, what I mean is it can't be the same word all the time.
Even if I think the same word all the time?
Yes, but you see, this doesn't tell me very much. Well, nothing at all, really. I must have more material.
She raised the lid. That triggered the mechanism.
Triggered the mechanism.
Dead. Like a rag doll. Sawdust. Bleeding. But not a toy.
You felt she was not a toy.
Why do you abbreviate everything I say and repeat it to me?
You wonder why I abbreviate everything you say and repeat it to you. Yes. All right, well, let's try something concrete.
Let's try something concrete.
Now, I want you to look at this. Look at it very carefully and tell me what you see.
Marks on a piece of cardboard.
Yes, but what kind of marks? What do you see in the marks? What do they convey to you? Trigger off in your mind.
Like a blot of ink folded over.
Yes, but what else?
Nothing else.
But nothing at all?
They buried me alive because I went into strange trances and seemed to be dead. Then I'd wake up just as if I'd been asleep. They said I was possessed. They decided to rid the village of this evil spirit by burying me with it inside my body.
Yes. You're talking about a catatonic trance in which a person appears to be dead whilst in fact their minds are fully conscious. It's a gruesome fact that in the Middle Ages, people sometimes used to wake up from such trances after being buried and try to get out of their coffins. Graves disturbed from the inside gave rise to some strange superstitions.
I knew everything that was happening to me. They gave my soul to the devil in excommunication. But my soul could find no peace and my body could not decay. And when the time came for the evil one to bring the Black Death, it was I whom he brought out of the earth to carry the plague to the village. At first, they thought the wells had been poisoned by the Jews and put them to death. Then they recognized me as the man they had buried. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
How long is it, my son, since your last confession?
A lifetime.
What are your sins?
I bring a plague on the people who follow God.
Are you truly sorry for this and all the sins of your past life?
I feel no emotion.
Are you convinced that you have offended against the holy law of God? And will you try to sin no more?
I feel no sorrow.
But will you try to sin no more?
What is sin?
Take a couple of these, will you? It'll calm you down.
Good of you to see me, Doctor. Of course, I appreciate how
Not
busy...
at all. Always happy to welcome a distinguished member of Parliament to our establishment.
Are you sure he's safe? That he won't find some way to get out of here?
Seems tranquil enough. It's often quite important with the kind of people we have here. But I assure you, it's top security. The perimeter fence is, shall we say, tricky. We get some of the most dangerous psychopaths in Britain here.
Is he a psychopath?
We're finding it very difficult to put him in any category at all at the moment. But I'm sure we'll find something.
Of course, you're aware of my very special interest in this man. If he isn't out of his mind, he'll hang. My bill, you know. I would like a word or two with him in private.
Help yourself.
Let me bury you again. Your work is done.
No, Langdon. Your work is done. You gave me life to summon up the power of hell. I'm only halfway there.
You want to destroy me.
Finished.
Rise.
For in this way do necromancers work, making images and rings and stones by artificial means, which have no natural virtue to effect the results which they expect. Therefore the devil must be concerned in their works. Put your trust in prayer and in the efficacy of lawful symbols.
Now, we know that minute electrical charges communicate messages from one neuron or brain cell to the next. And a chemical change takes place in the brain cell as a result of these electrical messages. Now, when people are abnormal, unlike other people, threat or danger to society, when they behave like communists, we can say that something has gone wrong with these electrical messages. A fuse is blown, the circuit gone haywire. Now, it's my responsibility to ensure that the electrical mishap in your brain does no further damage.
Take the rope. You know what to do. No. Follow the way of Christ, the Lord.
Now, I would say that you're suffering from some kind of profound depression, which seeks expression and alleviation through outbursts of violence. And we do know that in some cases of severe depression, ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, reduces the symptoms and renders the patient more docile and open to the efforts of therapists to help him. Of course, ECT has its opponents. It's true to say we don't quite know what these electrical shocks are doing to the brain, but I'm confident that you, the patient, will notice the immediate benefit.
In the name of God, by his birth and passion, by his 5 wounds, by the 3 nails, and by the other methods of Christ's army against the devil and his works, I command you to come out of him. I exorcise thee, being weak but reborn in holy baptism, that all the illusion and wickedness of the devil's deceits may depart and flee from thee altogether, with every unclean spirit. Therefore, accursed devil, hear thy doom, and give honor to the true and living God, that thou depart with thy works from this servant, whom the Lord Jesus Christ hath redeemed with his precious blood.
Very strange. He keeps regressing to the past. Talks about the Inquisition. It's amazing what some of these people pick up and keep in their minds. Satanism, books of that sort, I suppose.
But is he mad?
That's a very imprecise term.
You see, it's very important. I must insist on the fullest psychiatric inquiry. We must have no executions of the mentally ill.
Well, look, we've had very little success with ECT.
Oh.
Electroconvulsive therapy. I think something a little more drastic is called for. You see, precise areas of the brain control particular functions. Speech, hearing, erection, etc. Now, violent aggressive behavior can be isolated to a small area of the frontal lobes. We can destroy that part of the brain by burning it out with tiny radioactive pellets. He'll then be able to live with himself without fear of being overcome by an uncontrollable impulse. But of course, if we perform this operation, the law won't allow him to be tried for murder.
God, free me from him.
Far more grievous and violent is the torment of those who show no sign of being bodily possessed by devils, but are most terribly possessed in their souls. With all our hearts, we desire to lead you back to the unity of the Holy Church, to drive out from your heart the foul heresy, that so you may save your soul. But you have been given up to your sin, and led away and seduced by an evil spirit, and have chosen to be tortured with fearful and eternal torment in hell, and that your temporal body shall be consumed in the flames, rather than give ear to better counsels, and remove your damnable and pestilent errors.
Yes, healing of the brain will take a while, but of course we'll try and make you as comfortable as possible. There shouldn't be any scar tissue, but we'll only find that out if you develop epilepsy.
Langdon. Langdon. Come. Come. You will meet me where the two paths cross. The time has arrived. You will know the meaning of what you have done. Come. Come.
You achieved your desire.
But without you, I couldn't have...
No, you will never be without me. I am deep inside you. Time for you to bleed, London. You will never be without me. I am deep inside